I'm not gonna lie, bro. Where he's going?
Your budget is $100 today, okay? You got that? You got it in your little noggin of yours? That's not that samples right there. No, wait. I think I can remember me reversing you on the turtle. Yeah, is that what you want to that one? Oh my god, what are you doing? Bro. Can I get a picture, please? I need a picture. I need a picture. Hey, so when are we getting a house like this for the Hardstuck boys? Any updates, Matthew, on the house?
What are you making?
What am I making it? I'll figure it out. Fuck, bro. Oh, these three muscles. These just probably was the most of the Someone's starting to fire. Come on. Actually, these empty spot. Fuck them.
Even the C9 fans are here.
I am the biggest C9 fan, huh? Yeah, come on.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Can I ask why I've been okay? We're on screen now, but can I ask why you've pinged me asking if I'm good, or you didn't ping me?
Because you were frozen for so long.
What do you mean I was
You were
frozen?
posted up like this.
Okay, no, that's usually what happens when I switch between scenes where I don't have the webcam on. So you guys will just see me kind of just like plastered on the screen. You won't actually see me doing anything. That's why. So, anyways, welcome to the Hardstuck Podcast. I think we're on episode 6 now. I think 6.
Episode 6. Let's
or
go.
One
6.
That's
And-
the win.
Yeah. Right now, there's only 3 of us. I think Tony's gonna join sometime later. I can see him typing in chat right now too. So, but surprise, surprise, we have a new guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. You can call me Zorro. I met the Hardstuck Podcast guys at different VCT games. I cosplayed as Brim, so I can say Molly, and who am I kidding? My knees are gonna kill after this pretty well. Yes, I'm a Plat 1 smokes main.
Oh, this guy's just like me for real, bro.
Yes, it's a good time. I work full time for a biotech company, and then I play Valorant when I can, and that is that.
Yeah.
And I play D&D too, so
Okay.
I heard some people were interested.
Yeah,
in
we're
that,
gonna have
so.
to start up a campaign at some point.
That would be
I
so
very much
fun.
want to do that. I
Hardstuck
have
campaign.
old homebrew characters that I want to bring back. But...
Homebrew. Okay, sure, yeah. So my character has the Brim ult and the Reign of Dismiss, and
okay,
also
okay.
Op.
Okay, I know this isn't like I know this is a complete tangent to what we were supposed to discuss today, but my initial character was actually a halfling bard necromancer, and
Yeah,
he was
okay,
he was
yeah.
chaotic evil too. He was the most fun I've ever had with D&D ever.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like,
sure. Yeah,
God,
your
it
poor
was-
DM though,
Yeah.
having to balance
No,
that.
I embraced the role of chaotic evil so much that like every time my friend Andrew would like set up like a specific like way to like DM that day, and I would just throw it into like the other shitter because I would just go like start a bar fight or like I get like kill like a poor family or some shit like that for like their money. Like it was, I was a nuisance. I feel so bad for him.
Okay,
but
okay. You're not. I don't know if you're selling on let's do a campaign together.
I
Or
have
not.
changed. I've rehabbed. Okay,
Mhm.
I've rehabbed
Sure,
from the
okay,
chaotic
alright.
evils way. I'm now chaotic good.
Yes.
Those
Oh,
bitches
good.
keep
Okay.
falling.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've listened to a good number of the podcasts. That honestly is a pretty accurate
Cha-
assessment of most of
chaotic
you
good.
guys. Chaotic good, maybe
Yeah.
chaotic neutral.
I'm a pretty chaotic
Um,
neutral person nowadays. But
Yeah.
yeah, so like I said, Tony will be joining us later. I think he said that he was going to be free around 10 p.m. I'm not sure. Seems like he's trying to type up a confirmation message right now. But yeah, besides that, well, something big has happened not too long ago. Maybe like, what was it, like 2 days ago, some shit like that.
Why's my
A
light-
certain event in Madrid with a certain team winning that I did not want them to win, not because I don't hate them, but because I needed to fulfill a bet if they won, and I did. So, yeah, Sentinels won.
Let's
it-
go.
It was over 1,000 days since Tens had ever been since he won Reykjavik. I think it's actually been around the same amount of time since Zelsis has been to land too. So it's been a very long time for both of those players. And then obviously John Cutie, tier 2 player, first time playing for tier 1, and he wins his first event, right? And
Yep.
then
Yeah.
obviously second, amazing X-Head player, performed numbers, but just looked even more phenomenal in this event.
I'll
and
just
whatnot, so.
I'll just real quick say, so I was like out and about on Sunday during the grand final, but I was able to plop myself down in a Panera, and just like I was like in the corner, just like I was just like on my phone watching. Yeah, I was just watching it. Like, and my wife, she came in early, and she like saw me like with like the biggest smile on my face, and she was like, it's like, did Sentinels win? I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
they won. It's amazing.
I can imagine
don't
just some
work a
college
job.
student is just like typing up his midterm or like his like
Yeah, and I'm just
his
there.
master's thesis, and then he just looks out like the corner of his eye. He just sees this guy just grinning into his phone. It's like, oh, this guy must have gotten like a text from his like wife or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But
I
also
was,
it
I
makes
was
you, like,
watching
smile.
it with my
It's so funny.
professor in lab when we were fixing 3D printers. We were watching Tarek stream,
Nice.
joking about how Tarek doesn't actually watch the stream.
No.
Forever-
Chat,
Yeah.
chat, what happened? I need a replay. Chat, what happened? Chat? So yeah, I mean, I love Tarek, but I will Tarek slander. I can't watch Tarek watch parties.
It's
Like,
tough. It's tough.
No, that's fair. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know how my cousin Chris like enjoys watch parties more than he enjoys the actual stream. I
I feel like it's the personality, right? It's
I
like
mean, I-
it's like having a like a third caster who's just
Yeah.
there for like
some watch
wingman
parties I can
broken.
watch, but like I can't watch Tarek watch party.
yeah. It's just
Guys,
like
everybody on 0. Let's all sub at the same time. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Sub.
Wow.
you
Yeah,
can't.
that's-
Fault
forget-
You
I
can't,
forget
you
if-
can't fault a man for making bank, bro. For trying.
Yeah.
to
Someone said they were on like the burning bridges speed run, but Dane is clearly trying to
No.
win that game.
He is.
I love Tarek. I just
No,
I
can't
don't
watch his
think.
speed
I don't
runs.
think.
Or his speed runs and watch parties.
Dane is clearly burning bridges right now. I don't think he's gonna beat Tyler's speedrun of burning the bridge between
Oh yeah.
It was
Two
Tyler. That's
entire
who it was.
regions.
Never, that will
entire
never be
regions,
one.
by the way.
that will never be one.
I don't think that's kind of hard to beat. You'd have to burn literally bridges with literally every.
It's
single
just
region
funny
you'd
because
have
he's
to
like
burn.
such a wholesome guy, but he'd be like,
Yeah,
China
normally
sucks.
he's
and
like
it's
so,
just like
normally he's so that episode was honestly like a mind fuck because I was gonna bring him in because I was like I brought him in because I was like okay he has time and ever since I joined things have been a lot more chaotic which I understand some people might not appreciate so this guy usually injects a lot of form structure and like this like not discipline but like kind of like how do I say it like
lawful good.
yeah he injects a lot of like lawfulness and order. I think that's like the best way to put it. He injects a lot of order and like structure into the podcast usually. And then I guess we just got him on the day when he just came out of work, so he's just saying the most unhinged shit the entire time. I'm just like,
Yeah, he
all
was
right,
really
I'm just
tired.
gonna banish this guy to the shadow realm and have to take
Yeah.
the reins again. But yeah, anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. So yeah. Also, I
Center
think
the goats.
we should talk about a certain team who I don't think anyone except really me expected to go far. I think I'm the only one
Well, I
in the
think we
entire
should give
server.
Sentinels their
Yeah,
their
hold up. Yeah,
praise.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think before we
Yeah.
move on to the other team, is Zekin
Yeah.
the GOAT?
He is
No,
the
I
GOAT.
forgot.
There's,
Hold on, let me just
I mean,
copy
he's not
paste
the
your
GOAT.
entire
Like,
message
I don't
onto
think
my
he's the
notepad right
greatest
now.
of all time, but he's the best player in the world right now, undoubtedly. He might not put up the best stats in the like. He might not be. I mean, like he dropped 101 in the final. Like, what am I saying? But, like,
I was like, are you sure you want to say that?
stats wise, looking at VLR, like over the whole tournament, he might not
Mhm.
have put up like the craziest stats, but he's like even though he's playing duelist, like he's the backbone of Sentinels in my opinion. Like every play starts and ends with second most of the time.
Mhm.
And he's so proactive in calling for his utility. I mean, I think part of that comes from the fact that he played primary initiator on like Xset, on like a lot of the jet heavy maps. He was playing
Mhm.
Sova, he was playing Sky, he was playing KO. So he knows what like he has that experience. But I don't know, this guy just shoots the gun really, really good. I mean, him being able to play duelist, moving tens onto like a more comfortable role has been amazing. He's basically like no one's talking about him doing any dirty work because like he gets to play duelist and the duelists never really ever have had to do dirty work. Like I mean on Optic, like when they were so good, everyone was doing dirty work for Yay. Osmos doesn't do any dirty work because everything he does is clean. That guy's just like the GOAT.
Dude could be cleaning a toilet and it'd
He's
still
and it'd
be
be
like
clean.
that's clean.
He's the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
fucking like.
But
he can own, like, a
Zekin
bleach
does do a lot
company,
of
bro.
dirty work.
Like,
Zekin does have to do a lot of dirty work. Like I mean, he's playing a new role. He's like he's playing Raze, which is way more util dependent than like Jet. His Raze is incredible. It's the best Raze in the world. And I don't know, this guy's good.
I think it's
Good
also
at
worth
the video
mentioning
game.
that Seconds has kind of, I don't want to say pioneered because I feel like Victor and I think that Victor and Aspas have kind of pioneered that, but he's very much pushed the idea of like a selfless duelist into
Yes.
I was literally about to
into,
say
like, this
think the
year.
same thing.
Because even last year we saw with like duelists like Aspas and like even something to a certain extent, and especially Demon One, where these guys are playing to be set up, they're playing to frag, and because they're able to utilize their aim really well. Meanwhile, it seems like this year we've kind of seen like a difference. We've seen more of a switch up to duelists who are very willing to sacrifice their lives for the team's cause. So,
I think that comes with a Raze meta. I think like Jet is a lot more of a self-sufficient fragger. Like the fact that, well, to me it comes down to the fact that Raze's movement ability is limited in the amount you can get around. You can get 2 satchel dashes, if you want to call it that. Jet, you could theoretically have like 3, I think, in like the perfect scenario. I think you have a lot more like self-agency as a Jet player, and I don't know, we're in a Raze meta now. Like you can play Raze on any map, in my opinion.
yeah.
You can't play Jet on every map.
I will agree with that like Jet is very much a more kind of like do things however you want to do it kind of agent.
Yeah.
Especially considering the fact that if you truly think about it, all of her util is based on can be used to get herself out of a sticky situation.
Yeah.
Like her smokes can be used to get both of her smokes can be used to get herself out of a sticky situation. Even her updraft to a certain extent can be. And I think Aspas kind of showed just how good her updraft can be to bail yourself out. And obviously her dash, right? So the only one that you can't really think about is like probably the Jet Knives, but even then, like you're running at the same speed that you would having just like a normal spot, except you just have like a Guardian in your hands. So kind of works together like pretty well too. So I would say, yeah. Meanwhile, compared to Raze, where it's a lot more linear movement, you're moving in a forward direction. You're not really like kind of like being more fluid with how the map interacts, right? You're going in a set specific direction, and that's how you're entering, right? Or like kind of like taking any fight usually. So
I think both of you guys I totally agree with. I just feel like Zekin is primed for this like unique, like he's not like this like flashy like solo. I'm gonna like, I mean, like he's not like a Jagamo or a Jing
like
who's gonna like.
He's not like the 1v5 just swing the game completely to their favor by just killing
To
like 5
me,
different
like
people. But
when I was watching the grand finals, like especially on Split, like he had like 20 something kills, and I didn't realize he had that many kills until he hit the 4K. I looked up and I said, "Oh shit, this guy's got 24 kills."
Yeah,
like,
yes.
what? This
he's
guy
doing very
there's like
proactive things to set up the team and not necessarily himself.
Yeah.
So.
There's a concept in basketball like dropping a silent 20. Like 20 points in basketball is hard to do. And some players will like you'll just look up and you're like, "Oh, LeBron's got 20 points in his third quarter. What happened?" Zekin drops the silent 20 in fucking Valorant. This guy's almost always good for 20 kills.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
But the one thing I will say though is, I mean, as a Sentinels fan, I hope the meta doesn't shift over the course of the year because I'd love for Zekken to be able to play Raze on every single map.
Yeah.
But like, his Jet's good, and I think we really saw like his Jet like come together on like the Icebox map in Grand Final. But
Mhm.
I think his Jet is like significantly worse is weird to say when you're talking about the best Raze player in the world, but I would love to see Sentinels experiment with other duelist options on Jet maps because I think I think Zekken on like Raze on like an Ascent comp, I think you might be able to get more out of Zekken on Raze than what you're getting out of him on Jet.
Yeah.
But it just comes into if they want to buy in. And I hope like we don't have to see a bunch of Jet maps like we did last year, like Jet on every single map. Because I think that could be like a bad thing for Sentinels and their hopes in winning. I'm not
Mhm.
saying Zekken's not good at Jet. I love that guy. I think he's crazy at Jet.
Yeah.
But I think his Raze is just so good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I was doing some nerding and like trying to see like because I'm a big Yoru fan
Yeah.
and I'm not gonna try and like delineate us, but like
My man, my
yes,
people.
in EMEA Yoru was like a 21% pick rate, which
Yeah.
I'm like holy cow, this is amazing. And then Masters Madrid it was like down to like I think 11 or 13. I
Yeah.
don't have the number anymore,
Well,
but
Sen even went away from playing Yoru on like
yeah,
Prime.
yeah, and I
Well,
think
there's
it's
like
like
a
oh
very
like
there's a very specific reason for that, right? Which I think is because traditionally we've kind of started veering away from double duelist. I think ever since 2022 we've been kind of veering away from
Mhm.
double duelist. And so Yoru, he's very good. I think he's still highly underrated in how teams utilize him on certain maps. But it's especially now that teams are starting to realize just how good Gecko is on a lot of the maps, it doesn't really make that much sense to pull him out compared to like using Gecko or like other initiators for that matter.
Yeah.
So even though he's a duelist, right? So not to
Yeah,
say
I
that
think
he's not a bad agent. He's a very good agent.
no,
He's
yeah.
just, he's kind of
I
the
was just trying.
default
I
choice.
think what I was trying to, I guess, bring that was just like, oh, like I'm hoping, like
We
I've
get
been following
Zekken on
Kaplan.
Yoru.
No, no, maybe. I mean, I'm down. I was gonna say I've been following Kaplan since Ghost Gaming,
Yeah.
and like I feel like he's down to sometimes kind of go whip out that
Like
crazy, the crazy
I
play.
think, hear me out. Chamber is viable on multiple
Oh my
maps. Put this guy tens on Chamber, it's over.
This
Just
guy is
give
just
him-
saying this so that Bleed can finally make it to land, bro.
Okay, bro. No, I think it'd be cool to see more experimentation. But I mean, coming off a Madrid run, like I don't think Sen are gonna do anything different than what
Probably
they
Yeah,
did.
not,
you're
'cause
right,
they've shown
yeah.
that what works. Is that because they
Yeah.
literally used
Yeah.
the same comps throughout the entire
No,
Via Madrid, and all they had to do was just kind of more work on anti-shredding and like looking at other teams, and then
I
once
totally
they did
agree.
that,
I
they
think
started shutting teams down. So
I was like getting a little. I'm like, oh man, okay. I feel like they're starting to get a little bit predictable. Genji beats them that in that kind of that lower semifinal, I think, or
upper
what?
semis,
No,
upper semis,
upper semi. Thank
or
you.
upper finals.
And I was just like, dude, like Genji's got a read on them. Like, oh my gosh. And then in the grand finals, they were picking the same agents and kind of doing some of the same play. I'm like, no, but they adapt like those kind of micro plays. I feel like Sen, instead of like, let's like change the whole like our comp, let's change everything. Let's like, no, we're gonna keep the same comp and we're just gonna make small adjustments, and it paid off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like I don't think that I doubt they're gonna like whip out the Zek and Yoru or like the tens
No,
chamber.
with that being said, I would love to see tens play Yoru on split because unbeknownst to a lot
Okay,
of people,
stop.
there's
Stop.
what.
Stop. Please.
What?
Please.
Okay, no, I think
Please.
okay, this is something I feel like.
Are you talking in like a PRX way or a Carmine Corp way?
No,
Carmine
not
Corp, right?
I don't know about Carmine Corp because okay,
What?
Okay, I know people usually trash on Euro on split, but what a lot of people don't know is that there's a surprising amount of pop flashes you can do by tossing the flash outside the map. It's actually disgusting.
Yes.
Like I've done
No,
a
but
lot of dumb shit, especially on A side. I've done a lot of dumb shit by just tossing my flash against a wall that's outside the map, and they get flashed, and they're just like, "What the fuck did I just get?" I
I'm
get
not
three.
saying he's bad, but please let's not play triple duelist.
Oh
please.
yeah, well okay, yeah, not
No,
no,
I'm
no.
not, okay, no, I didn't mean like triple duelist way. I meant like raise Zorro way. And
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
it. I don't think, because even then, like, who would be the third duelist? Like,
Saucy, have you
Zelsis,
seen
I
his jet?
guess.
Have you seen it?
Zelsis
Have you
jet,
seen
bro.
it?
Zelsis
Dude,
jet.
look up the LTT, the Ludwig Tarek Invitational. Look at that show match. Saucy played jet. He fried, unironically.
Yeah, but he
Nice.
was also
Respect.
playing against tier 2 teams. Which...
Shush, shush. And it
Right.
definitely wasn't him playing against Tarek All Stars.
Mm-hmm.
You
For
don't-
sure.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
I see.
Uh-huh.
I
His
see.
jet's
Okay.
insane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
For sure.
I'm sure it is,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
No,
Yes.
I mean,
Man, this,
you
man,
could
Val
do
should have put Sasi on like Jet instead of Ospas back in
This-
2022, honestly, bro. Like,
this. We could do a whole episode on what, like, giving flowers to the Sen players, but I'll give my quick 2 cents on everyone. Zelsis is like the goat. Like, he stepped up big time in that.
He jumped up literally a lot.
Yeah.
I will say
also-
Zelsis was an extremely underrated player going into
Zelsis
2023.
talked-
So I'm so
Zelsis
glad
talked
that
his
he's
shit.
getting. I'm so glad that Zelsis is getting the recognition he deserves now. Because
Um,
I've always thought of him as a top player, and so it's good to see him like kind of reinforce that with this win. So
Yeah, it made me emotional as fuck when that guy started crying at the end. Nah, he's the glue. I mean, as like cliche it is to call Zelsis a glue guy, he's the glue guy. Like, he holds the team together. He
could
keeps
you
spirits
possibly
high.
say that he holds the team together through the power of friendship?
Okay, Brent. Yeah, this Zelsis. I mean, but like, to be very defined, his legacy game 5 on Icebox. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no,
like
that
that's a
guy
legacy game right
Back
there.
when like in the game where everyone is exhausted as fuck on both teams, this guy just starts pulling shit out the ass and like while also emotionally keeping the level up.
Celebrating mid round.
Exactly.
Dude, yeah, just
To,
like
Yeah, because Icebox was close up until the next half, at which
Yeah,
Zelsis'
the first
ability to
half
keep
was
everyone's
jail Valorant.
confidence through and through basically gave them that win.
Yeah.
Because like if you look at looking at the Genji players, you could tell they were just gone. They were done. They like the more rounds they were losing, the more hopeless they got. And Zelsis, meanwhile, even though they're like down rounds, he is still keeping the vibes up, and so these guys are fragging. So, yeah, huge props to that guy. Amazing player. I think we should also talk about John Keedy as well, and obviously Saucy.
I mean, yeah, John is crazy.
Yeah.
Dare I say the most mechanically gifted IGO we've seen in Valorant?
that's a good proposition. I'm trying to think.
Would I
This-
like to mention Genji Munchkin?
Okay, okay, bro.
Munchkin was
We- we-
he was popping off though. Like
He was popping off that entire fucking event, and you're gonna tell me that
Yeah.
John's okay?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
that's
I
fine.
get it.
Nah,
John won, okay,
my-
but like,
No, that's not what I'm saying. My only other option would be like maybe Stacks. Stacks is really good at shooting the gun.
Stacks is okay. So there's a bit of an enigma with Stacks. He's really good at shooting, right? But because he invests so much energy on pre-rounding and mid-rounding, he just sometimes just does not shoot back.
Yeah, but when
But when
Stacks is
when he
clicking?
when he has
clicking.
no pressure on him, he will just fry everyone and just smurf the lobby. Which
I think my vote is all of PRX because they don't have an IGL.
Okay.
No, this is
They're
true,
all
yeah.
IGL.
They're all
Ooh.
five
Some-
IGLs, bro.
Forsaken
Good
and
argument.
something.
This is true, bro. They are just a 5-team IGL where everyone's just screaming into their ears and whatnot, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then
No, but-
obviously I think Saucy is a player who needs to be mentioned as well. A lot of people were doubting him just because of his performance, even though he was playing off role with Sentinels. So it does feel nice to have him kind of back in form, or not even back in form, just like prove everyone wrong, you know. Especially
Yeah,
since everyone.
Saucy's Gecko is crazy.
Yeah,
Like-
he's kind of like he kind of exemplifies just how willing the Valorant community is to go from one extreme to the other. You know, where like
Yeah.
they'll be like, "This guy's the
This guy's
greatest
the
initiative.
best ever.
He's the best player
This
in the world.
guy
He just won
sucks."
Istanbul, but this guy's amazing." And then like come into 2023, bro. This guy just sucks, bro. We need to fucking drop him, get him out of here, bro. Let's pick up some like tier 3 player. He'd probably be better. Just like I don't know.
And then now he's the goat again.
Yeah,
no,
right.
Saucy's
But-
really good. I
Yeah.
mean,
And
I
then-
think
As
I
a-
think. Yeah,
Go
you
ahead, Dane.
No, you go.
Oh, just I think
You're
as
the
so,
guest.
thank you. I think as someone who like was pretty like let down by him last year, I felt like, oh man, like I just think we're in a Sky meta. I don't think his Sky is like really that strong. Like just he's picking, and I get like last year was a whole thing, man, dude, it made me so happy. Like, holy cow! Like, I'd see him lock Sky this
guy
tournament.
is
I'm like,
frying
he's got it.
everyone.
He's got it.
Here's why.
He's
Here's why.
frying everyone with no matter what initiative
Last
he
year,
plays.
last year playing Sky was all about throwing as much util as you can in every round. Saucy did not throw any util. But now in a Sky meta, where you have to hold your Sky util,
reserve
he's
your
so
util.
good.
He's so amazing.
So
You
good.
don't have to throw shit. And then
Nah,
the agents
he's
where
actually-
he can dump as much util as he wants, it's Gecko, which he only needs to dump 3 things at a time and then pick it up again.
No,
Coincidence?
I mean, Saucy is just like, I don't know. I think he has benefited from. I mean, Loud has always historically been like a very like, not like vibes team in the sense that like bad vibes kill everything, but like, from what it seems like the Loud 2022 team, those guys like had fun playing the game. It's just like Brazilian CS. Those guys love playing Counter Strike.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So like, I think last year must have sucked, bro. You had like 7 teammates. You and your friend you came to America with are like having to learn how to comm in America, like an American. I mean, Saucy already spoke a pretty good
Talk
amount,
American.
but
Yeah.
yeah,
Talks
like
language.
American.
now like you're English. I said American.
It's different.
But
It's a different
Very
language,
different
bro.
from,
different.
it's,
It
it's
is.
very different from like Canadian and like British, you know, like
Mm.
it's very distinct language. Also,
You gotta
Australian
insert
and
the
sub-dialect
word
New
freedom
Zealand.
every single.
Yeah, we're freedom speakers, bro. USA,
Drugs,
USA, USA,
forward.
USA. But anyway, sorry,
But-
I didn't mean to
But
interrupt.
yeah, but dude, now that the vibes are good, dude, it seems like if you had shown me like Pancata next to Saucy and Zelsis next to Saucy, and you said one of these pairings like is Brazilian and American, and the other one's Brazilian and Brazilian, I would have thought Saucy and Zelsis were the Brazilian and Brazilian. Dude, they're best friends, dude. Zelsis is shining this guy's head before the picture with the trophy. They are best friends, and you cannot convince me otherwise.
I mean, I feel like Zealous can just be best friends with anyone, though. That guy's such
Yeah,
a
but
vibe with.
legit. Anytime anyone's ever celebrating, it's Gustavo and Jordan together.
Wow.
But
That's a base take right there, man.
And also,
I
this is
it's
probably going to
nothing
be a
against
huge
Pancata.
reach, which is why I don't actually believe this. This will probably piss off a lot of Counter-Strike fans. But I think Saucy is comparable to Cold Zero now for the reason that they both
Oh,
have
yeah.
2 international
Yeah.
wins at this point.
Yeah.
And no
I
one
mean-
else in Loud has, technically speaking.
we'll,
So,
we'll see. We'll see how long Saucy goes for. But Cold's prime was really short.
yeah, it
Um,
was.
and-
It was a very
and-
strong but very short prime for sure.
I mean, if Saucy can hold it on for like another year or two of like good competitive play, like I think Saucy might be
I mean,
the FPS good.
As it stands right now, he has technically already surpassed every other Brazilian player in Valorant history for that
Well, yeah.
competition to be Cold Zero at Valorant because he has 2 wins, just
Yeah.
like Cold, and
Yeah.
everyone else has 1.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Just
just saying.
but yeah, I mean, and then the elephant in the room, guys. This guy Tens, by the way, he's
Did you
not.
say
washed.
tens? Did you say
He's
tens?
not washed. This
I
guy
will admit, if you went back in time in like 2021, right after Masters Berlin, and told me that Tens would be one of the best smokes players in the world, along with a crazy initiator player, I would have laughed in your face and then spit on your face on top of it and just left. That's what I would have done. But here we are now, where this guy is an incredibly flexible player. He is somehow just melded so well into the support role, and it's breathed life into him. He's like hitting shots like he hasn't hit since like back when he was like playing Jet in like during his prime in like 2021, which I can't even call his
Yeah,
prime anymore because here he is now,
Yeah,
right?
I think
So-
he's better now than he has.
Yeah,
ever been.
exactly, right? So
Um,
it
I
feels
mean,
so weird.
he's
to say
putting up comparable numbers. I mean, it's crazy to say comparable because technically, putting on my nerd glasses,
technically
he's
speaking,
he still has the most statistically dominant LAN of all time
in
at
Reykjavik
Reykjavik.
21. Yeah.
Mm.
And he's putting up comparable numbers playing Flashes and Omen. Like, I don't know. Like, if you showed me this guy's like if you transport me to 2022 and say, oh yeah, in 2 years, this will be the best. This is the stat line of the best smokes player at the tournament. who is it? I would have said it's Marv or Mako. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
Neither of those
Mako
guys
or
are
Pancada,
here.
bro. Those are,
Neither,
like, your
yeah,
three
neither
guesses.
of
You're just
no,
gonna be
all
like,
three of those
10s?
guys aren't there. So I don't know. I've always believed in my glorious king. The first ever real Valorant game I ever watched was Sentinels versus TSM.
Nice.
So I mean,
I will say,
like,
to be fair, to like players like Tens and whatnot, is that like I feel like the term like washed is highly overrated. I feel like people use it way too much for players who I don't think really deserve it, especially since we're so young into Valorant's like esports scene, right?
Not
So,
even
like,
4 years.
Yeah, exactly. And then we have like people like coming out like fucking like EA's like washed and shit just because he has.
yeah, he's the worst, guys.
Yeah,
There's a
like-
reason he's playing Viper.
Yeah, right. Like,
Can't
it's just like
stand anymore.
like even though like okay, Dane will tell you when he first met me, I was the biggest Sen hater in the world.
Yeah.
But even
This guy's name in the Discord used to be #1 Sen hater. I'm not even
Nice.
joking.
Nice.
but like my actual beliefs even back then were that even though like I didn't like Sen fans or like the org or even like the players to a certain degree back then, I still believe that they're all really good players and the Tens was not as washed as a lot of people are putting him on to be. And it's nice to see that like for him that like he's been able to like kind of prove everyone's allegations wrong, and it's probably a great confidence boost for him to like kind of be like, because it's one thing for you to like
He's
know
back, baby.
it's one thing for you to know that you're not as bad as like as like the toxic fans constantly put on, but it's another thing to also it's another thing to know that you're not as bad as the toxic fans put on because you won. That's like two very big different like jumps, you know. So it's really nice to see him. I think also we gotta extend a huge hand out to Kaplan and Drew. Those guys have just been cooking. They have been restless throughout this
My
entire
goat,
event. Just
Drew
fucking
with
no
Spark.
sleep, anti-chatting the whole night, VOD reviewing the whole night.
I wouldn't
and
be
then still win,
surprised
bro.
if
These
they're
guys are
both
just,
asleep still.
yeah. Like, there's no way these guys have gotten more than like 10 hours of sleep throughout this entire event, bro.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I think
but-
I real quick, just like I really admire, like, I think anytime they'd pan over to Kaplan, like for the most part they'd be pretty good vibes. But there's like one moment where like I think Kaplan like really lost, like he like goes smacking his chair and
Nah,
stuff.
there are a
he's
couple
telling
times
them
where
to
he's
throw
like
their
getting pissed,
flashes.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's a couple
I-
times
You
where he's
have
being
flash
pissed.
grenades. Use
Yeah.
them.
I think I don't know. To me, like that says someone who like really act like I think some coaches they get angry because like I don't know, it's just like their personality. Like Kaplan to me is like he gets angry because like he cares so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
like,
I think
No Chet shade, but like when Chet gets mad, he just goes.
he shuts down, bro. He mentally shuts down, bro. He's just like,
Yeah.
power off, bro. I'm gone. But I think coaches like Kaplan kind of demonstrate, like, probably what I think is most something that you should see the most in the coach, which is that even if your own emotions are high during those TOs, you calm yourself down for the team. And that's something that I admire with like Alex. That's something I admire with a lot of coaches from like. And that's something like within like VCT in general, and that's something I really admire in Kaplan as well. Because when the camera's cutting to all coaches like them, they are clearly heated. They are clearly very angry. They're clearly very passionate about and very emotional about how that round has just played out. But then once it cuts to them right after, when they just call timeout and they're in their timeout and talking, they're very composed. They're talking in a very like civil manner and just kind of like discussing their ideas in a civil but firm manner, which I think is very important and shows a lot of emotional intelligence out of those guys.
Yeah.
So. And then obviously Drew winning for Scotland.
Oh yeah.
Shot that
Oh
out
yeah.
real quick. But
Shout out and also shout out to Curry, right? This
Yeah, shout out to Curry.
Shout out to Curry. Let's go.
Hey,
I'm gonna-
shout out to the best former
You better
C9
not
member
fucking-
of all
Jesus.
time.
Tens.
No, not even tens. Tens already had him. I'm talking about there.
If you
there was
say-
a first time. Listen,
if you
C9,
say Curry,
an X.
if you say
an-
Curry, I will literally make 5 tons worth of curry and drown you in it. I will empty a swimming pool, an
No.
Olympic swimming pool, and fill it all up and just toss you
Yeah,
in there and make sure that you don't come back out. Okay.
Shout out to the first ex C9 player besides 10 to win an international. Curry.
Yeah, shout out. Yes.
Let's not forget about Curry. Definitely not
Yes.
another player that was on Sentinels this year and was on
Definitely.
C9 last year.
Wait,
But
that's
let's talk
actually
about Curry.
that's crazy. Wow, that's crazy.
Are we gonna talk about Curry?
No,
No,
it's
we're
okay.
not talking about
No,
Curry.
it's okay.
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 Dude, this must be the greatest business move of all time, bro. He joins.
He
Sentinels
joins and then they
before-
win, dude. The greatest PR stunt of all. This guy
Nah.
just straight up, just like he must be wrecking like.
He knows how to smurf in ranked and in business decisions.
Is this Tony?
Fuck just joined. This Tony.
Tony,
Tony
Tony,
just
the
Oh, I
stream
feel
last
bad.
week
We just
is-
finished like
The
like
Sentinels bit.
the
Yeah.
Sentinels bit. Yeah.
Here, we'll give him
Uh,
like here. We'll give like we'll make it
That's
Tony's.
that's fun.
Tony, Streamline Link is
Did you
in
just wake
schedule.
up, Tony?
Streamline Link is in schedule. We will give you like 5 minutes once you hop on to.
Tony,
your
do your
piece and say whatever
Sentinels
the fuck
rant.
you want, okay?
Go.
He's not even on yet, I think. Oh, never mind, he is.
Yeah,
Wait, hold
yeah.
on, hold on, Tony. Hold your horses.
Hold on.
Okay,
I'm
now
holding
you're
on.
good. Now you're good. Everyone, welcome Tony. Okay, we're doing the
Hi,
Tony
Tony.
segment now. Everyone,
Hi,
everyone meet up.
Let me get
Everyone
rid of
meet
the
up.
sun real quick.
Everyone meet up.
Um,
Give him his moment. Give him his moment.
I am so sorry I am late. I completely just like don't. I like your shirt, Dane. I really wanted one. Uh, Sentinels, yes, good team. That is all.
Mic drop. Let's go. That's
You,
it.
you have like. Hold on. You have like 4 minutes 54 seconds and counting.
Well, I mean, that's
4
all it needs,
minutes?
man.
What else do you have?
I mean,
I think you're missing one statement that's very important.
oh.
Here, I got you guys. I'll do it too with you guys.
Okay, how do I do this?
Just rip this.
Okay.
Oh, Brent's gonna yell.
Oh no. Oh boy.
My ears.
I'm not gonna yell.
Buy the
bro.
Sentinels bundle, please.
Everyone, please buy the Sentinel bundle.
Please.
I didn't want to yell too loud because my family is sleeping right now.
Okay, but for real, Genji are good at Valorant.
Yeah,
Would you
Genji
like
are
to
like
do your
crazy
thing?
good at
So, would you
Valorant.
like to do your
Holy
thing?
cow.
Okay, I'm just gonna be utmost and be front. I thought my take was that if Genji don't perform well, it's because they got a lack of production out of Munchkin. Guess what? They performed well.
Well, I can't even turn
performed
your
well.
fucking thing anymore. But fuck, bro. Well, we
I'm
can't
in the
even do the bit.
dumpster. Do you want me to do the bit?
I can't even. No, we can't even do it because I
Okay.
can't like rotate you, bro. It's,
Okay.
it's worthless.
You,
It's
oh,
pointless.
you can record me later doing the bit, and you can post
right,
it.
yeah, right.
No. Actually, though, like everyone on that team is really good. I think Meteor's the best player on the team. though.
I think their biggest issue, if anything, is mental.
experience.
Just mental, bro. Like these guys were holding their own up until they started losing drastically in Icebox, and like you can tell that like initially in Icebox, both teams were shaky. Both teams were just exhausted as fuck. But one team was able to rebound and bring their vibes back up. The other team just crumbled. And you can kind of tell with like all their expressions, because throughout most of the match, Munchkin and all the other players, even when Sentinels are like doing really good plays and like just shutting them down, they're like just sticking their thumbs out, and going like, "Hey, good job, right?" But then that
Yeah.
last map on Icebox, watching them, they were mentally defeated. These guys just
No,
were absolutely crushed.
I
So-
knew it was over when Texture glass cannon off. I was like, okay. That to me when he bought the glass cannon off, I was like, this is a Demon One buying Sheriff on pistol round on split moment. Like, you are mentally defeated and you're just trying to shoot somebody in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that Texture was not really fragging as much as he normally expects himself to that specific
Yeah.
game. Like I think he was actually near the tail end of the leaderboard on that specific game, which is pretty uncharacteristic of him, considering that this guy usually is just frying every lobby that he's in. So it probably
No,
didn't
okay,
help.
but there were rounds where Texture looked like the goat. Like there's a round on split where he's sitting in front of the cipher trip, right? He's just sitting there, like he's looking at the cipher trip. He calls someone. He's the only player on that site. He calls someone to run back around. Karen runs all the way around. He pings the trip, has Karen shoot the trip, and stay on the angle. Sentinels dump like 5 pieces of utility at the angle. They all run out and he shoots 3 from behind. Like these guys all played so well, and I mean Karen is just crazy too. Like
yeah, and it's a huge statement to make when you are literally a completely new roster built up around one player from Genji. One
Yeah.
player from Genji. Everyone else is a new addition. The coaches are a new addition. Everything is a new addition. And you come out of the gate coming second in the first international. That is a statement to make. And I think
I remember when Meteor he was on Northception I think
Yeah.
a couple
Mhm.
years ago,
Mhm.
and he hits this like crazy I think like 4K with a Marshall on split. He like he like goes crazy on with a Marshall. I remember like since then I've been following him ever since then, going like this guy has got to be like on like a world beater team. Like what this dude is insane. What the heck? And like I think from just like my limited like kind of knowledge of like Pacific, their games are always like late at night, so I rarely watch them. But like Meteor, like I feel like for a long like at least last year like was just like he had like the go button
Yeah.
or he was dead. Like that was
Yeah.
that was kind of like all he had.
This
I
guy
feel like he
this
like
guy
was
should have been playing on Paper X.
I know
Yeah.
exactly yeah it's like
Yeah.
but like I feel like this tournament to me like whenever I watch it, okay he's gonna overheat like he just got like a 2K or something.
No,
Right? And he's like,
he
no.
was absolutely disciplined.
Yeah,
Like
which I was like
Munchkin
he
this
really
is a
has
different
just, like-
guy.
He hit some of the most calmest 3Ks I've ever seen. Like I'd
Serious,
sit
yeah.
there,
And I think
I'd
a
look down
large
at my phone, and I'd look up, and he'd be mid spray transfer, ascent B site, just killing everyone. I'd be like, oh yeah, I guess he did it again.
Yeah, which I will say that a big part of the reasons why a lot of these players look so disciplined compared to like how they might have on different teams last year is definitely because of Munchkin and HSK. Those guys have really taught them to kind of like look at the game in a different way, and in a kind of like a more respectful manner than like past like Gen G IGLs and like coaches have, right? And admittedly, going into kickoff, the first thing that I was very worried about when it came to like Gen G was their head coach Solo, because I had heard the rumors, especially from Dane, that like this guy was like making players cry over like his toxic, like just how toxic he was in that
Yeah.
environment. So that was probably my biggest reservation. Otherwise, I knew that all of these players had like the potential to just like be world class players, and that was honestly that worry was kind of addressed. Like he honestly seemed like he seemed like pretty pissed a lot of the times when he was by himself. But he also kind of like kept that same like Alex/Kaplan mentality of like keep the emotions to yourself and to the other coach. Do not keep it with the players, you know. So
Yeah.
that was really nice to see. Obviously, all 5 players are just incredible players. I think Karen just proves how ranked players can just destroy pro players just by doing the most dumbest shit that they would do in ranked.
Dude, that TP like it was during the upper semis when like San is rushing B main, Karen gets I think like
I
flash,
think-
but he TPs onto that box up there. It's
Yeah,
that
I
little
think my
that,
favorite. Yeah, that's my favorite play of him. I think it was during PRX, their game against PRX, where like he gets Yuto dumped by all of PRX. He omen blinds them, and then he's so confident that his paranoia hits all of them that he just dry TPs, and then like he's right, none of them hurt him. The TP there, so he just kills 3.
dude. It's
So,
the yeah. I
He's
love that.
literally a ranked player, bro.
I
He's
do
a
that in
ranked-
TDM sometimes. You know,
he-
I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna blind TP.
yeah,
Oh
this-
yeah, I'm behind 2.
Yeah, this guy's straight just a ranked player, bro. Like this is like the shit where like a ranked player would just like instantly just check their corner because they're just like, oh, this guy's gonna ego TP this shit. But then pro
Yeah.
players look at the shit and like, okay, this is the dumbest possible move this guy could make, so we're not gonna expect it. But he pulls the dumbest possible move in that situation. So, in all seriousness, though, I honestly was initially I was a little bit kind of reserved about how Karen was gonna do. Up until I started watching like some of the off-season events, I was like, okay, never mind. This guy's just different, bro.
Yeah.
He's goated. How has this guy been in ranked for like this long and not in pro play? I don't understand. But yeah, and then Meteor.
One thing that I
yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just one thing that the biggest takeaway for me moving forward is that like okay, old Korean Valorant of like the DRX Vision Strikers, we have a plan and we are going to do that plan every single game and we are not going to deviate. And in fact, we might as well be giving them a free Sova drone because of how exact we're going to do everything. Like that's out of the way. That's gone now. Like I think my
Yeah.
hope is that Genji I think will usher I think
A
that
new
that
era.
scene, yeah, a new era of like that scene. Just like I'm fine with it being still structured. And I think they did have like some really cool structured plays, and like I think their ideas like
They're by far
they
the most fluid Korean team that has ever.
that's the thing. It's just like
ever
just
existed.
like
and
bringing it from
it just
11
worked.
to like an
it
8.
fucking worked, bro. It
I
straight
think-
worked.
I think a meld of the DR. My guess is that a lot of the structure in Korean Valorant comes from the coaching, and
Mhm.
my guess is that, I mean, even on T1 last year, T1 played pretty free flowing. under Munchkin calling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but then like once you saw Zeta start calling, it kind of
Yeah, no,
switched over
Zeta-
to, like, a very
Zeta
just
has-
do everything
mean,
by the book, you know.
Zeta was in NA for like a majority of his Val career. Like,
Fun fact:
but-
that guy, he also used to play on Tyloo Esports in Counter Strike. So
wow.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. No, but I think a mixture of the DRX style and the Genji style is what could bring Pacific a trophy.
Almost
yeah,
did this
100%
time.
agree.
Yeah.
It
Almost
really
did.
did almost.
But see, I think like the DRX almost because the DRX style, one reason why it's so good at getting them 5th, 6th is because there's always something to fall back on. There's always something to fall back on when you're playing a worse team, like a worse team who might be like shooting better than you that day or has brought like a weird comp to the table. They always have the fundamentals to fall back onto, and that's basically why they've always gotten like 5th, 6th, 3rd, 4th. And the reason why they never pushed ahead of like the 3rd, 4th barrier, at least in my eyes, is because when they play against teams who have the same like fundamentals as them, like can break a round down that slow as well, they don't have anything that can sort of get over that hump, at least consistently. Like if you watch them play Optic, like watching them play Optic was the most boring fucking Valorant of all time. It's both teams defaulting for 50 seconds into someone walking on the site.
It's
or like a hero
FNS
play.
just went against his own fucking art, like his fucking like doppelganger on the other side.
So
Yes.
I think in a in like a like especially I think we saw that sort of lack of like fundamentals to fall back onto on Icebox. Like as soon as things
Yes.
didn't start to like not go Genji's way, they immediately just resorted to trying to take ego fights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Texture was just walking down B main with his op whenever he had it, trying to find an advantage.
Yeah, and I
And
think
there was,
another
like, no
thing
help.
is that a lot of these players are just not afraid to take fights that, in many cases, you would think are just completely stupid to fight or take. In like a very by the book stance, a lot of the fights that these guys were taking just don't make sense. But then they took those fights, and it granted them the win. They took a 50-50, and it worked a lot of the time, which I think
And that's
that was
part of the
probably
reason
something
why.
that's like kind of, I think structured play has kind of plagued Korean Val for a while, because this is something that Dane and I have discussed before, which is that regions tend to regions from other esports regions, how regions will play in certain esports will quite often reflect themselves in other esports scenes, right? And something that you kind of notice,
LCK.
yeah, exactly. And something that you kind of like exactly, like these guys will just like just farm for like the next
Well-
like 15 minutes in league, and just kind of
Well, yeah,
taking no
League-
fights at all.
The
whatsoever.
Koreans got so good at League by playing like low activity,
It is the most
like-
boring, just
like the-
honk
ba-
me shit that you can ever see.
when Korea was at its peak in League, the games on average, like one match was like 55 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
because they spent
you
like the
sat there,
first like 25
you-
minutes just farming
not
and
even
nothing else, not taking a single
half
fight,
an hour
bro.
was. You didn't take any risks.
Yeah.
The only plays you went for were 100% guaranteed plays.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And then because teams
and
are
then it would come down to a single team fight at 55 minutes. If you lost the team fight, you lost the game.
yeah, because the way it would work is that one Korean team will just not take the fight at all for like most of the match, and so the other Korean team is like, all right, this is not in our favor. This is not in our favor, so we're not gonna do it either. So both teams are just farming the entire time, not engaging at all. It is the most frustrating thing in the world. But watching LCK actually gives a really good insight to why like Korean Valorant with like the form of like DRX, Vision Strikers, and even to a certain extent last year looked so kind of like by the book. And it's because when you look at esports scenes in Korea and other games, they are very by the book. They're very just do everything by the book, do everything by structuredly, and do everything together and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm just excited. I think Genji hopefully will. I don't think they're gonna like fully break that, and that's okay. Like I hope they push it just a little bit. Just
Yeah.
add a little bit of that, like that just a little ego spice in there.
Yeah, exactly. And like one of the things that I kind of found interesting with like even CS is that like everyone knows that like Korea basically did not exist in CS, but the team that did exist, Vision Strikers, they never really did better than any of their other competition. Like you had like Tyloo and other Chinese teams, they were just like smoking. Even EU teams, like I think Tyloo like a lot of the times were winning against Na'Vi with Simple on their roster. And part of the reason why Division Strikers in CS were just so stuck for so long, just doing absolutely nothing in internationals, was because they just constantly played by the book. They played like Astralis, but at least Astralis knew when to break things out when needed, right? Like the Pre will like just get like something like fucking Deagle Ace. The Device will just like get an op and just like get a 4K and just like fucking scurry off to some other part of the map, right? So that's something that I've kind of noticed kind of plague Korean esports in general, in all esports fields in Korea. And so that's why it's so weird to see that a Korean team has decided to just go against that mentality entirely and then find massive success where no other Korean team has made it in that scene. And I think because of that, we're going to see a lot of changes in maybe even other esports, honestly, if possible. I wouldn't say immediately, but I think as the years go on, we're going to start seeing other teams be like, okay, we've been following the book for like God knows how long. What happens if we just change things up, you know? Yeah. So I'm very excited for that reason. I'm especially excited for Valorant because if there's one thing I learned about Korean teams is that they will copy whatever the most successful Korean team before them does. So
I mean,
like
everybody's
you and I were like clowning about like LCK just like not playing up until the 55-minute. You know who pioneered that shit? Faker did.
Yeah, and Faker's the GOAT. So.
Yeah. So
but the difference is we don't look at Stacks and think Stacks is the GOAT for wasting a Sova drone down B long on blind ever.
No, the difference is that League is a very strategic, like very like, oh, you gotta like study the numbers, like, oh, how much does this augment do for me, right? Valorant is the you're gonna get shot in the face game, you know? It's a gun game.
You die.
Yeah. I don't know. What I was gonna say is, I think like everybody's clowning Lakia right now, and like I don't know, don't clown that guy. Well, for one, he's probably better than you. Like I would guess, he's probably better than like your whole bloodline.
Fucking second and third in like two lands that he's participated in. Just
bro, dude, and that also, I would just submit that bind clip where like it looks like he's playing deathmatch. Yeah. Where he's just all right, okay, I'm gonna like, swing,
kill one, turn around, kill another, turn back around, kill another, turn around, kill another.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think the same would have gone. Like people would be saying the same thing about Saucy if Sen had lost. And
I think people would have said that about every player on Sentinels, or whatever player would not have been firing well on Sentinels.
If Zekin lost dropping 101 kills, you would not hear me talking shit about Zekin.
No, I'm saying that I feel like people will say that about any player that was doing bad on Sentinels if they lost.
Yeah.
Like this conversation, the only reason why this conversation with Lakia is happening right now is because they lost. That is the only reason. Though,
the one thing all Valorant fans can agree on is that EMEA is washed.
Farmer region, baby. Not even playoffs.
Zero region.
Gone. Absolutely gone.
Settle. That's a heart.
Okay, but like...
Okay, whatever.
Like, legitimately, had Carmine Corp done made it to playoffs at all, it wouldn't even be K Corp doing it. It would have been Narrate doing it.
Yeah. And then if Heretics did it, they would just basically be just copying PRX, bro. They would be the inferior form of PRX. I won't even lie.
Like, I don't know. Like, the fact that, like, nobody picked up Narrate this year is crazy. Like, how bad do our scouts have to be to not see this guy?
Dude.
Like,
I mean,
I don't think it's necessarily a thing of like how bad scouts. I don't think it's necessarily a thing of like how bad scouts are in NA. I think it's more of a statement of how much talent is in NA.
I think this is another case of FNS having the biggest brain of all time, because the OG original NRG roster was gonna be like everybody, the old last year NRG roster minus artists plus Narrate. Holy shit!
How
that
hard would that
might have been the greatest of all time.
That team would have gone. We would have seen like prime optic shit, bro. Honest to God.
Yeah, but think about it. Narrate just plays Jet on all the Jet maps, and Victor plays Raze on all the Raze maps, and it's over. It's straight up over.
Right?
Like, I don't know. Like if Carmen Corp had won, I would have claimed America had won. I would not have claimed.
I would have said the same shit, bro.
Bro, you wouldn't have
'Cause-
said Viva la France?
Because
No.
here's the thing: EU teams do this shit all the fucking time when NA from any esports gets any minor success. Team Liquid makes it to the grand finals in ESL Cologne. Oh wait, it's just because they have Simple on the team. Fucking RD's like NRG makes it a fourth in Tokyo. It's because they have artists on the team, you know. It is about fucking time that we get to say that same shit to them, bro. I am tired of this shit. But
Yes.
anyways, to kind of just circle back to Genji, I think they're all like incredible players. I think the coaching staff has really kind of stepped up, and I think they've also beaten a lot of allegations. Because something that a lot of people forget is that the assistant coach, HSK, he was on DFM last year. And so hearing that like this guy got picked up by Genji, everyone was like, this is the worst fucking decision in the world, bro. Like this guy ain't gonna do shit. And then he builds the roster, and then look how good the roster is doing now.
We're still on Genji.
We're on Genji just because I want to say one more thing about them, which is that I think Dane and I had this we both talked about this like right before Madrid, but we said something along the lines of, if Lakia just remembers that this guy is a land demon, he will go far in the tournament. And lo and behold, he remembered he was a land demon, and then he went far in the tournament. So
The memories came streaming to him.
Yeah, he like finally just unlocked his repressed memories. It's like, wait a minute, I'm good at shooting people, bro. But anyway.
I don't know. I think there's a serious conversation, like, to be made for this possibly being the greatest rookie class of Valorant players of all time.
I agree,
dude. Amen, man.
agree.
Amen.
Like,
I was gonna ask you guys. Like, I think
Reeds?
go ahead.
We haven't even seen Woot, and this guy's been the most hyped up Turkish prospect of all time.
Yeah, Woot.
There's a lot of
Nervant,
rookies that we haven't seen like
uh,
their full potential yet.
Heron. Who else? Who else is a rookie?
Martine.
Martine. Who's that guy on DRX? What's his name?
Flashback.
Flashback is crazy.
Izu.
Flashback.
And
Yeah,
even
Izu's good.
even Oxy to a certain extent too.
I mean,
Oxy. Yeah.
I think like this is the best rookie class we've ever seen.
Oh, yeah,
unless this is
absolutely.
like a tremendous fall off, and we are all living in recency bias.
I will
I
will say one player that I was like super excited for was Tamazi on
from the Heretics, right?
from KC.
Or-
Well, they were on they played on KC. Right, like they're I think like the Smokes player on KC or something.
okay, no, actually, yeah, I remember who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel I don't want to call the guy, but I feel bad. He was the lowest rate, like ACS wise, like lowest ACS at the tournament, and like again, he's a rookie too. So like it's like I think that like kind of like, oh, it's a rookie, like the first time coming. Like I've noticed like in Valorant that typically just seems to not really impact them. A la Demon won, just like, best player last year. A la all these amazing rookies. I feel like Tamazi, unfortunately, it seems like he was like kind of like that one in like that kind of small percentage of players where like it seemed like maybe just like the pressure got to him, or maybe like playing other regions got to him, or
I will just say, just give them time. I think something a lot of people forget about Demon 1 is that he did not have initial crazy success when he went to EG. Like EG still lost like 3 or 4 games when he came in. So I would say just give him time. This is something that I tell everyone all the time when it comes to players that like underperform to expectations or just underperform in general. I always tell them, just give them time. Give them time to grow. Give them time to kind of get used to the environment, especially if they're rookies. It's a huge adjustment because even if you're coming from tier 2 Valorant, unless you made it to Ascension, you have never played a single LAN in your life. So it's a huge adjustment to go from I'm playing like with my team in our like org building, and we're just like playing against other teams, right? Even though there are stakes, it is a different environment from just playing like in the org building with your team with no one watching besides like maybe camera crew and social media managers, to being on stage and playing with like hundreds, and then in the case of Masters and Champions, thousands of people watching live. And all cheering you on and all just booing you at times. Go ahead.
This guy is playing like a completely different role. Like he's not even going from duelist to initiator.
who are we talking about?
Tamazi.
Oh, Tamazi, yeah.
This guy was playing only Duelist on Saw, and now he's playing like Hard Flex and like
Yeah, no,
Hard
I'm pretty sure Aang, he just got like 4 duelists. I'm
He
pretty
just
sure
picked
that's
up the 4 best people at shooting the guns and said, okay, this
yes.
is
I'm
what we're
pretty
gonna
sure he did what was it T1 last year? Who was it last year that just was like, yeah, let's just get 4 duelists.
do. Yeah,
It's some one of the APAC teams did the exact same thing, but not as much
Yeah.
success.
It was not T1 because I do know that actually. I
Yeah,
know
no,
that
not T1. Sorry.
I think if
It was
anything,
one of those APAC teams.
would have been PRX.
I forget.
I don't remember.
But yeah,
but yeah, I think he deserves time. Also, it's kind of hard to have good stats when you have Martin and Narrate on your
just
team.
smurfing
I'm
the
gonna be
lobby
real.
during the entire
Those
time.
guys kind of just kill everybody.
they just steal
Yeah.
everything.
And then Shin clutches everything. That's kind of how it goes. If the round doesn't go good, Shin will clutch up. If the round
Yes.
does go good, there's no more people for you to kill.
Yep.
Yep.
So I think someone's stats have to look bad. I wasn't
Yes.
necessarily like disappointed with how he played. I mean, he played very well at kickoff. I'm pretty sure he had
He
like
had some
one of the
Lotus clips that like I was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, like dude, this
Yeah,
guy
this-
is like pioneering. Like,
good
okay,
with
this is
the
how you play
Odin.
this map.
he's
Yeah.
good with the Odin.
Exactly. Yeah, his like Odin plays. I'm like, oh, like that's how you Odin on Lotus. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I again, I actually he seems like a really likable guy, and like I'll be cheering for him.
His Twitter
stats-wise.
replies are gold.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll be
Yes.
streaming. I'll just be scrolling Twitter and I'll see a Tamazi Twitter reply and it's just heck W.
Yeah.
I will say that the EU teams did kind of pull a short straw in terms of the teams that they fought.
Yeah.
Because Heretics, first match, Sentinels won the whole thing, right? Second match, Paper X came third. Carmine Corp, first match, like Fun Plus Phoenix, yeah, they're supposed to win, which they did win. Second match, Sentinels won the whole thing. Third match, PRX also came in third. So I think that as much as we can look at stats and like results as much as we want, there is obviously like a larger picture to be painted. Obviously, it's kind of hard to say because at that point we're kind of like going into more speculative territory, and a lot of conclusions can be drawn from basically anything, right? So I understand it is a bit hard to kind of like say concrete for a fact that like these guys like about like make a concrete statement about something when we're just going off of like, oh yeah, these guys had a bad game, but like like they played like a really strong team as well, so maybe
True,
not
true.
the best argument to have, but what?
It's my turn with dog in the room moment.
Hold on.
Teleported.
Just
on.
whoop.
Hold on.
He's just okay. He's picking up this big dog like as if
That's
it
a
were a
doge.
chihuahua.
Oh my goodness.
That dog
Oh.
looked so confused for a second. They're like, where am I going? Okay, I guess I'm gonna
What are you
pick
doing?
that.
What are you doing? I told you I don't play Valorant. I'm not the sky. I told you I'm not the sky dog. I'm not the sky dog.
I temporarily increased your size to be the scream catcher size just so that we can showcase everyone on stream. But oh
the
no, you're
wingman.
not full size.
Wingman.
You're not full size right now. I can
Dude,
make you
Tony,
full
wait,
size.
I didn't show you this, Tony. Look,
I have
Ready?
not seen it.
look. They're magnets.
No way. Wait, that's sick.
Look, he can hold nail clippers and shit.
To be a wingman.
Next, for the next hour, let's
still
talk
want you
about
to-
does Wingman have the toenails?
I mean, he just has one nail, no?
I don't
He's
know.
got scales. He don't got no
He's got
toenails.
scales. Yes.
I think that brings up an interesting question. Are claws technically nails?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Cool. Yeah. There you go.
Answer-
Discussion discussed.
Discussion.
Good- good one, boys.
That's a Hardstuck guarantee.
Yeah, fuck you for making a stupid statement like that, right?
No, it's okay. I did want to ask you guys though. So like, looking at the tournament, who would you guys say like best rookie of the tournament? I kind of posted in the schedule like Narrate, Karen, and technically John QT since this is his first international as well. But I was curious about what you guys thought.
I'll pitch for Karen. Um, I don't know. I think he was. I mean, like, I think Narrate did good, and it felt like at times it was like he was the only guy on his team doing anything. Um, but
Ouch.
uh, I feel like his stats are a little inflated, just because like, well, everybody looks at his stats. I mean, he's a good flex player. Don't get me wrong; he's a great flex player. But I think everybody's wowie-zowieing over the fact that he kills a lot of people.
In a shooter? What? That's
Like,
insane.
Fucking
like-
heads, bro. Unthinkable, bro.
I think comparatively, Caron is shooting at a level that is close to Narrate, and he's bringing far more with other parts of his game than what Narrate is doing. But if anyone wants to make a case for Narrate or John, go for it.
I think the case that you can make for John is the fact that this guy won the whole event, right?
Yeah.
And on top of like doing immaculate calling and shooting well, right?
Mhm.
But the reason why I am going to personally put Karen as the rookie of the event, not because he's Korean, that's not why. But the reason why I'm going to put him there is because it's one thing to jump from like NA Challengers of 2022 where you're playing against tier 1 teams, right? And then also NA Challengers of 2023 where you're playing tier 2 and whatnot. It's one thing to jump from that scene and also playing in Ascension. It's one thing to do that, then be a ranked player, hop into the lobby, hop into the LAN, and then just smoke a lot of people, bro. Like, I think that's a crazy testament to just how much, I think it's a higher jump than like John QD has made. So for that reason, I would say that he is rookie of the event. So
Yeah. I
Tony,
think
do you have any thoughts? Or
I'd also go with Karen. It's like having like 0 pro experience and then going like almost straight to the top is unfucking believable. It's crazy.
he's giving cope for every single like fucking top 500 Radiance no lifer.
that's gonna be me. That's
Yeah.
I'm the next Karen. I'm the next Karen.
I'm him. I'm him. Typing on the keyboard.
I
Fucking,
swear. I swear.
fucking.
I did that TP because Karen did it in the game in grand finals. That's a good play.
Exter's gonna fucking like just randomly join the team like tomorrow. Just be like, I'm gonna
Yes.
breathe life and I'm gonna show these guys how to actually play Euro on the
Heck
stage.
yeah, W.
Because
Yeah, I
Karen
would
said
also
that
I
it's
think
gonna play.
kind of with Tony what you're saying. Yeah, like I agree. Like I think just the fact that like he really like fish out of water and thrived. It really felt like that guy was like I didn't see any like maybe like at the end of ice I like the kind of icebox final map, you know, at the end of the tournament like you're like exhausted. Yeah,
and
okay,
your whole
maybe
team
he
was
like crumbled a
exhausted
little
as
bit.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine. But like up until that, like honestly, I was like, oh, this like seems like he was like born for this almost. Like it's just it was insane. So I think we found someone who like truly is like a one of a kind. I'm really excited to see like where Karen goes moving forward because if this is his debut, I'm like, okay, like
there could be some crazy Korean super teams in the
that's what I'm
next year.
saying. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's only a matter of time now.
Right.
As long as his trajectory keeps going up, like you know,
Yes.
Yeah.
Are we potentially saying that Karen is the faker of?
I mean, you know what? If there's someone at his high school who like is like his like anime rival and like they like end up like keep crossing paths at different world events,
No,
and
we-
also he Karen keeps winning and winning and winning. All right, fine.
I mean,
Then
we
he's
already
faker,
know who's Karen's anime rival, bro.
Who's
It's another Korean player who was initially just smurfing ranked and then played only duelist and is now playing mostly smokes. And his name is Izu and he's on T1, baby.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the same level as.
They have to play each other more.
Yeah, maybe
Who?
that's it. Maybe that's it.
Who?
Izu and Karen.
T1.
Oh, Izu's played that guy like twice.
That's what, yeah, exactly. That's what, yeah. I think
Beth
Tony's
and
saying
Faker
a
have
little
played
bit
each other
more.
more at Worlds.
You know, this actually makes me wonder what is the bracket looking like, or what are the groups looking like for Pacific?
I don't know. We're back on
I-
our Pacific pill.
Yes, I
Hold
feel
on.
so
Team
bad.
Heretics. Team Heretics.
Here,
Team
let me
Heretics.
just
Team
check
Heretics
real quick.
mentioned.
Heretics are kind of good.
No,
low-key, they're
wait,
kinda
what
good.
the fuck, dude? T1 is in the same group as Genji. That is
I'm just
that's fucked, bro.
worried.
That's fucked.
I'm just worried about Team Heretics because I don't see Navi and Fnatic slipping this split like they did last split.
What happened to my
And
screen?
considering-
I have my camera turned off right now because
And
there's someone in
considering
the
there
kitchen,
are
so.
only 3 spots in Shanghai, like I could totally see the 4 Masters spots or the 4 champ spots being Navi, Fnatic, Carmine Corp, Heretics. I think that could be an easy lock. Considering Foot don't look that good, and considering the fact that Giants just dropped their best player in my opinion.
Wait, did you say
Wait, who
Navi?
did they who did they
did you say
drop?
Navi, Fnatic, and KC?
I said the 4 teams I could see at champs
Oh,
are
4 teams at champs.
Heretics, Fnatic, Navi, and Carmine Corp. Rumored that Giant X are dropping Nookie. So
Oh, I did hear about that. Okay. Wait, I feel bad. Wait, is it? Am I wrong? For like, I thought you were gonna say Fatinho or something like that. I'm like,
okay,
Coutinho,
Coutinho's
no
also
way.
really good.
when you
But-
said best player, I'm like, I mean, no, don't get me wrong. Nuki's also amazing. But just I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Fatinho, like,
Fatinho
that'd be-
has like kind of solidified himself in the history books by that ridiculous 4K.
the douche.
No, that
Dude,
shit was disgusting, bro.
Being there
EDG's
live,
trying to like.
Yeah,
get
I'm like,
paid.
I was there live too, and I was just like,
Yeah.
what am I watching?
Like I'm like looking at the kill feed. Fatinho gets 1. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I see like 3 more pop up on the kill feed. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
I was sitting next to some like EDG fans. They were like, come on, surely one of you will kill him.
Yeah,
Like,
could you imagine he gets an ace there? Like your entire team
Yeah, that's what
tries to trade
I was
you out.
chanting that.
Yeah, imagine
Nah,
your entire team.
If he gets
tries
an
to
ace,
trade-
best clip ever.
you don't
Actually,
yes.
want to know. I was sitting next to Tyler, and Edward and Arnav, who were cheering for EDG, were standing in front of us with a bunch of EDG fans,
Uh-huh.
and Tyler was. I'm putting this out live so the world knows. Tyler was talking mad shit the entire game. He's
I
saying-
remember this.
and when EDG came back and won in overtime, all the EDG fans turned around and Tyler pointed at me like I was talking shit.
No way!
Tyler talking
I
shit.
remember
You heard me,
this.
Tyler.
I remember this. I think I was sitting with another EDG fan that day, and then I look at Tyler point at you. I'm like, and then I hear you go like, "Nah, what the fuck, bro?" I'm like, "Huh?"
Wait,
What
that's
just
so
happened?
messed up. Just tell you, like, it was him.
Legit what happened.
Tyler is in chat, by the way. Just letting you guys know.
Oh, that's so.
I
funny.
don't care.
No, I'm just saying.
I want the world
I'm,
to know the
I'm
truth.
telling you
First-
I'm telling you to rub more salt in the wound, because
Yes,
he's here.
first Hardstuck Podcast scandal.
We already had a scandal last time, bro. We shut that
Oh,
shit
yeah.
real quick, but I had.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the Minecraft level something.
Yeah.
No, but I don't
Wait.
know. I could see.
I just want to point out that in Group A in Pacific is Gen G, Global Esports, T1, Team Secret, and Bleed. Is that not just like a? Is that just not like a fucked fucked group for Global Esports and Bleed?
That's the
Like
group.
that,
Yeah.
like that's straight.
Wait,
just like
but-
you're not getting out of that shit alive.
Are they
no?
this? Is it the same where they play everyone in the other group though? Because isn't that how?
Yeah.
Isn't right? Or is that challenge? Isn't it like everyone in your group? You don't play at the first split. You play against everyone in the other group.
Is it?
Okay, yeah.
Wait, it is. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
you're right,
okay.
you're
So
right.
Oh, that's
honestly,
weird.
it's a yeah. Basically,
The second half,
this
second
split,
half of the
yeah.
split, you play everyone in your group. So you just
Yeah,
play
it's-
everyone once.
you play everyone once, but basically at first though you're gonna play everyone in the other group, then Shanghai, and then you're gonna play everyone in your group, and then champs.
I don't care what you're talking about, TBH. Hold on. Dane, this is your
Wait,
this is your
huh?
villain. This is your villain
I know.
monologue moment, bro. This is your villain monologue.
They
moment.
explained it in that like really cool like, hello, welcome to Valorant Champions Tour
Yeah.
2024. Here
So
are some
basically-
graphics that are going really fast.
Yeah, basically, you play.
That's why I'm
everybody-
confused.
You play everybody in the other group during the first split. Then after Shanghai in the second split, you play everybody in your group.
Wouldn't that just mean that there's like? Oh well.
It's very unfair. It's very unfair. Because some teams will have a much easier time qualifying to champs than Shanghai and vice versa.
Yeah.
Like some teams are gonna have a breeze qualifying to Shanghai, and then they're gonna have to. It's gonna suck qualifying to champs.
Yep.
And the other way around.
That's
But
so weird.
I-
That's odd.
I think this Shanghai qualification is gonna be so weird, especially in EMEA, because like in my opinion, you have the teams who aren't gonna make it, and it's everyone but Heretics, Carbine Core, Fnatic, and Navi. Clip me if you want. Brent will make a fucking meme out of it. I don't think anyone else can qual to Shanghai.
It's only
Could you
3, right?
imagine
Yeah.
if we have like fucking God, I don't know what was the worst team? Could you what was the worst
If
team?
Koi qualled,
Was it Koi?
could
Could
you
you
imagine
imagine
that?
if Koi, Carbine Corp, and Heretics all qualify for Shanghai?
Dude, I just want Gentlemates to make it because I like their classic. I love their classic. I think it's the coolest classic. I didn't get it because I got the Send bundle, obviously.
Good.
Nice.
But the gentleman that like green, that like monster green with like the purple, I love that. So I just want to see that on the big stage. But
Yeah.
will it happen? Probably not.
You could probably just like bribe like I don't know like fucking tens or some shit like that to just buy it and use it for like one day, one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know if Rob Moore would allow
Just
that. I
slip
feel
him
like
a
he's like very like no, you
Just
promote the
just
Send
slip him
bundle.
a 50, you know. They don't have to have.
Yeah, a cheap 50 that I've just
Yeah,
got lying
exactly.
around.
Yeah, exactly. But
Here, one sec. I need to step away just for a moment.
you're good. I've had my
Yeah,
camera off
but
for like the past.
I'll
Like,
go
30
I'll go
minutes.
on a famous Dane rant right now. I'll fill the time perfectly. Feel free to butt in. I think Heretics are gonna have a really weird time qualifying. I mean, Heretics did 2-0 Carbine Corp like in the group stage, but I am worried about them qualifying. Miniboo looked like the greatest player of all time during EMEA kickoff, and they won't have him for Split 1. Woot will be playing Duelist. So I'm a little worried about the roster qualifying for Shanghai.
Wait, why isn't Miniboo playing?
Miniboo is finishing school.
Oh,
I know. Yuck! Don't go to school. Play Valorant. Play Valorant. Boo school.
Brother, this guy stinks.
Stay in school unless you're Zekin.
Okay, I'm pretty sure Zekin's finished high school. Okay, I
Zekin
don't know
finished
if-
No, he did, yeah.
But
Please, guys, I do not want to be known as the podcast that is encouraging kids to drop out of high school to pursue video games.
bro,
We're
I'm going to
not gonna be-
college. I'm like one. Dude,
Not being that
I'm one of the
fucking
few
blunt, brother.
people in my immediate circle to be going to college.
Do we look like a podcast like dedicated solely to like finance bros, bro? We are not that. Get out of here. We're not
Wait, this
telling
isn't a Sigma Male podcast?
Oh,
What am I do-
Actually, I'm the greatest, and no one else can compare.
NFTs.
Crypto.
So
Crypto.
okay, so I know this. I know people
Oh,
like
no.
are probably gonna bash me for saying this, but why are homeless people homeless, bro? Just get a house.
Insert the impact noise. Boom.
Yeah, and just have like the music like slowly like fade in and like get like louder and like just have a crescendo as
Yes.
we like hit
Classic,
our
yeah.
stupid ass point, right? But
Sorry. So I stepped away. I came back to Dane just saying, "Drop out of high school. Drop out of high school." That's what I came into. So
I
I'm guessing
basically
you're
was
talking about
saying-
Zekin wanting
No.
to be, like prove to his parents that he was like, "I'm gonna drop out."
sure, I will
I
turn
was
on my
talking about-
cam just for this specific moment.
Oh, what's
let
up?
me just
I was talking about
Rabbits.
Heretics. They won't be playing with Miniboo for Split 1.
all right. Kids, stay in school. All right.
Um,
All right.
they won't
Oh,
be
God.
playing with Miniboo for Split 1 because he's
Because
finishing
he's in school. Oh yeah.
So Woot's gonna be playing Duelist.
I know nothing about Woot other than he's always on Twitter going like, "I'm so excited for Team Heretics. Let's go."
Yeah.
So if he plays as
So-
good as he's like excited on Twitter, like I think he's gonna do just fine.
You know what's the most surprising thing about our session so far?
Yeah.
We still have like little less than an hour left. It feels like it's been like 5, but we haven't actually burned any time at all, which I'm kind of surprised by. But
I'm sorry. Wait. So we're going too fast or too slow?
No, we're going a lot. I don't know why, but like, I don't know how to say it. I don't know how. I mean, it's a good thing that like something that felt like 5 hours actually has only been like a little over 1. Means we're having fun.
Oh, I got you. Oh yes.
But
Yes.
I don't
see.
know why,
I
but
see.
like I felt like we were like way past schedule, and then I look at over, I'm like, oh, it's only been like an hour, bro. Like what?
Yeah.
But I think something
Brent's-
that's what?
Brent's face is paused.
It's like half cut.
Wait, wait, I can't even see it. Someone screenshot
Oh,
it.
It's
Screenshot
it's a,
it.
it's a good it's
I
a
got
good
it, I
look.
got it.
It's a good look. You're not like making like a face, you know.
I kind of want to see that.
It's a good look. It's a good look.
I'll make it my profile picture if it's funny enough.
I'm sending it right now.
It's just like on it. It gives me like early Facebook vibes. It's
Put it
just
in
like-
schedule.
You know, now that I'm looking at our group chat or our DMs, Dane, what have you sent me, bro?
What?
There you go. Yeah.
Okay,
Toni
let me
posted it
just
and so did
quote.
Dane.
Let me just quote read what this says. Right
That I sent you that, and I wanted you to look at it before the podcast.
So you don't want me to read what this says.
You probably. I just thought it was funny because it pertains to me.
Me when I got the VCT autism instead of the being good at maths or science autism, and it's just a girl in a bow tie crying. It's just
Yeah.
honestly
'cause,
relatable, bro.
You know,
We
I
don't
think
have
I may or may
Asperger's, bro.
not be on the spectrum, but that's not a question we will talk about today.
Bro.
You know, I do have a friend who just recently got his bachelor's in psychology. You want me to refer him to you?
Toni, I saw it. I saw it. Toni.
My wow!
Oh no.
But Dane, if you need a licensed psychiatrist, I got you. I have a lot
Thank
of
you,
people who have
bud. I
the
appreciate
qualifications.
it. This has just become a therapy session for me.
Yeah,
now.
my brother has autism, so we can also talk.
Are we just gonna
Here.
do like a whole mental health segment? Is this what?
There you go. Yes, there you go. Touch
Alright.
the kitty
Boop it.
thing.
Boop it. Boop it. There you go.
Boop
There
it.
you
There
go,
you go.
son.
Wait, what is that? A plush of what?
It's just a lavender cat. It's not
I
from
love it.
anything, I don't think.
It looks
It's
like
great.
one of those
It's-
cats wrapped in a burrito.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. It's fantastic.
It's so
A
small.
lavender cat. I love it.
I named it Chumba.
Chumba.
Yeah.
The Choom buff.
But
The
I do have
Chumba.
my worries about heretics qualifying to Shanghai.
Oh yeah, sorry, we're talking about Valorant. Yeah, I forgot.
I think
To get back onto topic of not Valorant, you guys should go look at the photo I've just sent in schedule.
Oh, it's a Minecraft! Oh.
I saw
Wait, I've shown these before, I think.
I know,
have
I know, Dane.
Minecraft.
I saw you. I know you saw it, Dane, because you linked my
Bruh,
story.
I have
Right, so-
Minecraft, guys.
You have Minecraft? Show.
You have Minecraft?
Would you like to
I
share
have
with the rest of the
Minecraft.
class?
Oh,
What's
it's the
that? That's an
Ender
Ender
Dragon,
Dragon?
dude.
That's so
Aw,
cool.
that's-
Yeah. I also have a Eeper.
Keeper.
I have a dog too.
And eep.
Yui. So you have the creeper,
Oh
And you have-
man.
a bumble.
So we
Oh, that's a good bumblebee.
Yeah.
That's actually very cool.
Only Brent got that reference.
Side to side,
Yeah, sorry.
Side
No, you're
to
fine.
side. I forget the list.
And then the best
lyrics.
one
It's
for
been
last.
lyrics,
I have a dog.
bro. He has an
Oh,
active dog, bro.
okay, 2 dogs in 1 episode. This
That's
is
the record.
officially the best episode
We've
ever.
had a cat and a dog in once, but we've
I c-
never had.
I
two
could
dogs.
probably just like go out. I can run outside and probably try to kidnap a coyote. I don't know how well it'll go for me, but I can try.
Yeah, that's smart.
I could try to like bring my cat in. I don't know if he'll
Dane,
let
you're
me though.
Dane, you're telling the guy who told you to heat up your water by throwing literal fireworks
Yeah.
in it. Not smart.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a redundant statement, Mike.
Brent's solution, and I quote, to my dorms not having hot water is, I have a solution. You know how firecrackers can ignite underwater?
Okay,
Yes,
listen.
Don't leave me and Brent in the same room unattended. Oh, no.
Dude, you're sounding like Raised right here. Just like,
I'm just saying.
aw man, I love explosions.
I'm just saying. It would solve his very specific problem. I'm not saying that it wouldn't cause other problems. It probably would cause other problems, but in the very specific context of heating up his water because there's not enough warm water in his dorm, it does solve the issue.
Firecracker
saying.
warm. Water go.
I'm just saying when a fire okay,
Expert
I'm just
analysis.
saying when a firecracker ignites, it will hit peak temperatures of 236 degrees Fahrenheit, which is way above water boiling temperature. Therefore, your water will be hot enough for you to enjoy. I'm just saying.
I feel like there's so many problems with
You leave
that,
it
but
on, actually.
you know what's more problematic is why is Benji Fishy not getting the credit that he deserves?
Can't respect all, by the
This
way.
man loves Fortnite We love Fortnite.
No, fuck Fortnite, bro. Fuck.
You know.
As an old semi-pro Apex player, fuck Fortnite, bro. Hate that game with a passion.
Bro,
I'm just mad.
we love Fortnite.
Yeah, I
man.
am mad, bro. I am.
And
mad.
I love Benji Fishy, and I think I'm so excited. I know you were saying you're worried for Heretics. I believe in Benji Fishy. That guy is that.
Wait, have
he's
you guys
wild,
seen?
man.
I
have you guys
believe in
seen that
Benji Fishy,
one-
but my question is, in your heart, deep down, if you dig, do you think they qual over Fnatic or Navi? And if no, do you think they qual over Carbine Corp?
Without Mini Boot, also is Patty Tech sticking around?
He's gonna
or
stay. Woot's just gonna
gonna-
play duelist. It's minus Mini
minus
Boo
Mini
plus Woot.
Boo plus Woot.
Guys, I
And
have.
then
I,
after next split, it's gonna be minus Patty Tech. Woot's gonna move to where Patty Tech was, plus Boo, Mini Boo. Then the Heretics roster is gonna be unstoppable.
All right, you know what? Okay, you know what?
On the
When
topic
you
of
mentioned
Benji
Mini
Fish,
Boo, yeah,
I do
go
want to
ahead.
ask you guys a question, which is that have you guys seen that shit post of Benji Fish on like a movie poster?
No.
You guys have not
What?
seen this? Okay, so maybe Zorro will like know about this movie, but do you guys know this movie called A Fish Called Wanda?
A fish called
No.
Wanda.
It's like this.
I know a
heist-
lot
it's
of
like
movies. I
It's
don't
like
know
this
that one.
80s heist movie.
I see the poster now though. A fish called Benji.
Yeah. So someone.
Oh, what? What is this?
Hold on. Let me find it real quick.
I'm sending it to schedule right.
Please, yeah, send it, cause like this is.
It is the most. It is the funniest creation I've seen. So okay, so for context, there's this heist movie made. I think it was made in the 80s called A Fish Called Wanda, right? And
1988.
someone got all the photo or like a headshot of like all of the players on Heretics, and put it on each of the individual like characters that are like each of the individual actors that are on that movie poster, and then they just put like Benji's Fish's like profile picture on like the fish part. And then they changed the name to A Fish Called Wanda to A Fish Called Benji. It is the most funniest shit I've ever seen.
I do
don't know-
love. I do love that Mini Boo is his face is on Jamie Lee Curtis's
Yeah, exactly.
like
right.
body, and it's just like, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis like Freaky Friday and
Yeah.
recently Everything Everywhere All at Once, and
Yeah.
there's just like
Yeah.
there's Jamie Lee Curtis and then there's Mini Boo.
Yeah, I
They
don't know.
are-
Like, I don't know why this thing made me literally laugh for like 30 minutes straight when I saw it initially. I don't know why it made me just lose my absolute shit when I saw it, but it was for some reason the funniest thing I've ever
Have
seen
you
in my life at that point.
seen A Fish Called Wanda?
No. That's the funniest part.
See, I haven't seen it either. I think it's funny, but I feel like
Like,
for
I,
your
I don't
response,
even know,
that would
I
be
don't
that
even
you've
know
seen the movie.
Like, I don't even know the context of the movie. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know
Wow.
why.
That one memer out there, they're like, wow, I've done my job today.
Yeah, he has, right? he can
Photoshop.
rest easy that he's made one person's day, right? But anyways, back on topic. So I think another thing that I think you wanted to talk about, Zorro, was about the outlaw specifically.
Yes,
I have it in
is
my
the
notes, okay?
outlaw too weak?
Yes.
I think it costs too much money. Like
I think if you make it more comparable to the price of the Guardian, I think people will use it a lot more.
If they make it
I
more,
think they
go
need
ahead.
to make it cheaper than the Guardian. I think it needs to be at like Bulldog price.
You think it's
Like
why? Because of the reload speed
because
just
I
being
think if you're
absolutely
on an
atrocious?
eco round, right? Like if you're on a save like an eco round, I would almost always rather have a Guardian. It's almost always there's very little situations where I go, I would rather have an outlaw than a Guardian in this situation. And that could be a based like not duelist player take because I don't play duelist, but the price of it being more than a Guardian, even if you brought it in line with a Guardian, I think it's still like I think if it was in line with a Bulldog price wise, then there's discussions to be made about like when you're in the buy menu, like do I want an outlaw or do I want a Bulldog? Also, with the way the meta is now, like the fact that teams are full saving way more, the amount of rounds where the outlaw is effectively an op, because that's what everyone was so worried about, was the outlaw just like killing everyone because it's a cheap op if the enemy team has light armor. Those rounds have become few and far between. There are very few rounds where the entire enemy team is on light armors now.
I will say there is one way in which the outlaw, where you don't have to change its stats, including its, you only have to change one stat. Everything else you can leave the same, including its price. There is one way you can change it that will make it, I think, a lot more of a used pick.
Hold on, let me predict it.
Go ahead.
You make it to 150 damage to the body.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should make it like I was actually gonna say that like you should make it so that not only does 150 damage, but also like the bullet will just keep on flying and like start tracing to like other enemies on the team and then just kill them all in one shot. You know.
I was gonna say it needs more skins.
That too.
We haven't gotten a premium skin yet.
We
There
need
are
a
no good
premium
sounds.
skin.
Yeah, dude. Sovereign Outlaw might go hard, bro. Neo Frontier Outlaw. Oh.
Neo Frontier Outlaw, I would boom,
Take
right
my
there.
card.
Yes.
Hold on. What's like the
No, but yes,
Hold on.
once a new skin comes in,
like,
just
yo, is
watch
that
all the
Neo
pros gonna be like this.
Glitch
Yeah,
pop
yes,
outlaw.
the
Yeah.
glitch pop. I see. Yeah.
No, you know what we need, like unironically?
What?
We need the Smite outlaw.
This is just the
Dude.
worst cook. You have not just burnt the pan and the kitchen. You've burnt the entire house and the apartment complex. That's all.
I would buy it.
It's going down.
Okay, you can't encourage this behavior. This is the first time you're on this podcast. Do not encourage him. Okay, he will start to become more unhinged as time goes on.
may I? Go
Brent.
ahead.
Tell me you wouldn't buy it though.
I would not. I would straight
Why?
not because I have not
Why?
bought. Okay, I have not bought a single Smite skin in my life. So what makes you think that I'm gonna buy one for the outlaw?
Because it's the outlaw.
Go fuck yourself.
It has no skins. Tell me why wouldn't you buy it if it's the only skin? It'd be
Because
really
I would
funny.
rather have a default skin than the ugly ass shit that looks like the fucking Zeus skin from Counter Strike. I would rather have that than that.
Why
you
not?
can't just tell me.
No,
that,
no. He
This
makes
guy
a good
just
point.
went on like you can't tell me that the way that they made the Smite skin was they just went on MS Paint, put like a fucking gradient blue on the background, and then just like literally just got like the eraser tool and just went like woo, you know? Like you can't tell me that they didn't just do that.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was one thing I just noticed in the tournament. So sorry. To a more VCT topic. Just like I felt like at least I saw it felt like Gen G was like buying the outlaw a good amount. I felt like I could
think they
see
were the
like
team that bought it the
texture.
most, actually.
I was about to say, I
It
felt
was, like,
I was
texture, meteor,
was-
and sometimes Karen as well. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. I saw them picking it up. What was confusing to me was like they were picking up also like it felt like almost more on attack, which I was like, what
Yeah.
the heck's going on here?
They were picking up. They were picking it up in a lot of rounds, which is kind of puzzling unless you watch Pacific, in which it actually worked out to their favor a lot of the times. So, but like coming into
Okay, gotcha.
obviously in Madrid it didn't come out to their favor, right? They like lost a lot of rounds because of that. But it was kind of like one of those things where it's just like, why are you doing this? You know, because like even though it did work in Pacific, it's still a bit of like a gamble. You know, like why buy
yeah.
this when you can just like have a Guardian or a Bulldog, which will probably serve you better, right?
Mm.
But that's why I think that the change that I think will make the outlaw relevant without changing its price is make the reload faster. How do you do this? Instead of making them when they completely empty it, don't make it so that they pull it out one by one. Make it so they pull out both shells at the same time.
I think the reload speed doesn't really have anything to do with it. I think it mainly just comes down to the fact that it costs.
Because one of the reasons why that players are less willing to fight or less willing to use the outlaw is because in like full buy rounds by the enemy team obviously doesn't give as much value because it doesn't one hit kill, right? But that doesn't really matter in the sense that it can give 2 quick succession kills that can easily take down a full armored opponent with Vandal. But what's the biggest crux as to why you never shoot it more than once? The reload speed is ridiculously slow. It is so painfully slow that if you do that shit and you just miss time a jet dash or you're in the wrong position, you are dead no matter what. So I think for that reason, I think that's I think a good way to kind of touch it without messing around with like the econ thing or whatnot is just make it so that when it shoots both bullets and empties both of its barrels, just take both shells out at the same time. Don't do it like one by one. Like there's no point.
Before Dave, just real quick before you say your thought, like I did notice, like I noticed, like I think it was Meteor. I think it was Meteor. He was doing the one shot tech where it was like he'd fire a bullet, go into cover, dunk, one bullet out, one bullet in, fire again. Like, and he was it was either him or maybe Texture, I forget. One of them was doing that a lot. So I feel like, to me, I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe it is just like that second bullet, like reloading that, at least to to them, like was like such a disadvantage that they were like, I'm not gonna fire 2 bullets at once. This is gonna be a really slow Marshall, basically. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and that's kind of like my point.
I mean, I think if you want an accurate representation of what the outlaw is in the meta, you can look at the guns that are bought just a little bit more and just a little bit less. The gun bought just a little bit less is the Frenzy, and the gun bought just a little bit more is the Judge, which are both like
wait, I'm sorry, the Frenzy?
Yep, the Frenzy was picked 55 times. In Masters Madrid, it was bought 55 times.
Oh, wait, I thought you meant like... I thought you meant like in comparable to stats. I'm like, how the fuck does this...
Gotcha, yeah. So 55 times Frenzy.
66 Outlaw, 92 Judge.
I see. Okay, that's what you meant.
I think they're all very niche uses on certain characters, like on like specific rounds. Like pistol rounds, Sky will buy a Frenzy a lot of times because you have the money to go. I think it's Dog Frenzy.
And heal.
Yeah, and heal, Dog Frenzy heal. And then like a lot of times like Omen players or Duelist players will buy a Judge on a safe round. And I think the Outlaw is fitting into the Duelist player buys the Outlaw on an anti-eco round or a bonus round.
Okay, this might actually be a really fucked suggestion for me to bring up, which I don't think Riot will ever implement because it is a stupid decision. But I kind of just came up with this right now, which is that what if they gave it so that you can shoot both bullets at the same time? Which, okay, listen, I know that you're gonna like give me flack for this shit because it is a genuinely stupid idea. But the reason why I came up with that was because most double barrel guns in any other FPS game can't shoot both barrels at the same time. That's the only reason why I came up with this idea. Otherwise, it is complete.
The Doom super shotgun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. So.
Did you hear the Doom guy music? Doom, 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 doom. And it's just Omen like.
I gotta get someone to do like a fucking Outlaw compilation with Doom music.
The Doom guy. Doom, 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 doom. Yes. No. Yeah. I think I don't want the Outlaw to become a replacement for any of the like rifle round guns. That I don't think anyone really wants that. Maybe the few the Outlaw enjoyers, but like I think this tournament to me, even though Genji made it very far and they used, I felt like the Outlaw the most, it didn't provide me like a compelling like, oh, okay, like you should incorporate this regularly into your anti-eco. Like I saw I was way
which they were losing were actually kind of in part due to them keeping their outlaws, which
I noticed. I was like, whenever like I'd see like someone with an outlaw, it's like, oh, okay, like it seems like they're kind of at a disadvantage in the rifle rounds, and like
I think there are some rounds on split.
Wait, did you ask yourself the question? A Guardian would be better in this situation.
I think the question they were asking is, why doesn't my outlaw have a smite skin?
I'm gonna straight kick you out of this call, bro. I'm gonna straight kick you.
No, but also think about it. The outlaw
you defending yourself is not gonna help. It's
okay,
actually
wait,
this is completely different. It's about the outlaw though.
Okay.
It's like the outlaw.
I will let you cook this one time. I'm giving you a beef patty. Please do not, for the love of God, burn it.
It's severely situational. It only works in certain scenarios where the enemy team is probably on a light buy, will have less shields, but at the same time, you don't really know that. So it's hard to choose an outlaw like consistently because you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Which is why the pick rate
it's
could
a bit
be
of a gamble.
Pretty low.
I'll say two things.
Which, if you're gonna gamble, why not just buy Marshall, which is like 100 times cheaper and does the same thing?
So, my two things I'll say is one, VCT players have the privilege of using any skin in the game, so they've been used to playing with skins that have sound effects. This gun doesn't have any skins with sound effects yet. And wait, what was my second point?
The second point is that it has no smite skin.
Um, wait, actually, what was my?
I'm sorry.
I think this is a testament to the fact that the
I
game
was gonna go
was
get a pan
designed
for the
very
bids, but it
well.
didn't work 'cause
There
there's
were
no
no
pans out right now.
holes in the arsenal. Like you could take the outlaw out of the game, and the game would still play exactly the same.
Actually, there is one instance where the game would not play the same, or history would not go the same if the outlaw was not in the game, which is that Genji would not have lost grand finals.
Okay, bro.
Okay, you cannot tell me. You
Copium.
cannot tell me that.
Copium.
You cannot tell me that the amount of rounds that Meteor and
I
Texture
want what you're
sold.
smoking. I want what you're smoking.
Okay, for
No,
real
I-
though,
I-
there
I
were a
looked
lot
at
of
grand
rounds
fi-
where Meteor, Lakia, and Texture were selling because they had an outlaw and they just.
I
could
was
not do
looking.
shit with it.
I skimmed through the grand finals today. Yes, there were a few. I don't think it was too many though, to be honest. Like,
It was bonus rounds, which if they won, it just the
Okay.
map would be over. That's what I will say.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay.
Like specifically, the map that comes to mind for me is Split.
I just, you know what? The one thing I was so I kind of agree with you guys. Like, I think it's a little weak. The one thing I will say though is like one of my favorite quotes from like the Team Fortress 2, like some of the devs they were interviewing about like, oh, like, do you feel like the sniper is overpowered? And they're like, no dev like builds their game around someone being able to play like thousands of hours using this one like weapon and like knowing what that result's gonna be. And I feel like
Unless you're an indie dev gamer who's built your entire life or your entire game around speedrunning, then in that
correct,
case,
there you go. But like I think I'm curious if like this is a situation of like it is underpowered, or if teams haven't like figured out a way to like really like consistently incorporate it or set up. We keep saying it's very situational, setting up the situations to be correct, or we just haven't found that like player who like is an outlaw within.
Who knows? I guess it's just one of those things where like the gun just got released like a couple months ago. We'll just have to see as the year goes on.
So
And as
that's just it.
actually just as
I'm
the
looking forward
years
to that.
itself, as like the multiple years go on in general.
Because wasn't it like the stinger for like the longest time? Everyone's like, it kind of sucks. And then like Tens hits that one clip in the death match where he's just like, yo, this thing's busted.
And then suddenly
And everyone's
everyone
like,
realized this was the most goaded fucking eco.
same with Judge, Wheezy,
gun that you could
Wheezy jumping in and like destroying NRG's dreams, like just making.
So
You
who
know,
knows?
so-
It's just one of those things where like we'll just have to see how teams kind of like utilize it as the year goes on, and even as like through 2025 and like 2026 go on, we'll just have to see how things kind of progress. Who knows? Maybe we'll have like the Astralis equivalent in Valorant is going to be some team that just utilizes the outlaw to perfection, right? But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we don't know. We just kind of have to watch and see how things play out. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, as someone who just played Chamber on Lotus outlaw only and dropped a like 21-9, like I went 21-9. It's like
This
I
guy's
think it's a good
kinda
gun.
the goat. This guy's
a good gun.
kind of the goat.
Yeah.
All right. I think we already kind of brushed up on if this is peak 10's conversation. I think we kind of brushed that already in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is
So,
peak 10.
Yeah, so I think we can
I'll
kind of just
say.
bury that hatchet in there.
This I probably have time for maybe like one more topic and then I gotta go
Yeah,
because
I need to
I need
sleep
my
as well.
I need my tapioca pudding and my retirement home medication.
Oh no,
'cause
that's
I'm old.
fair. We're coming around the 2-hour mark anyways, and I always try to end these like around or before the 2-hour mark. So,
Okay.
I think in that case then we can kind of just talk about. I think probably I was initially gonna ask us to talk about who we think is gonna like go to Shanghai next year, but that is a bit of a. Now that I think about it, it's a bit hard to make that judgment call, based on the fact that not even Split 1 hasn't even gone through yet. So, I think we can just kind of end on with Loud then. I think we'd end with Loud and PRX. I think that'll be our last topic for tonight. So.
Does Loud deserve criticisms for their triple flash composition?
I will say
Loud.
Nah, that's fucked. Top 4 in the events, bro. That's fucked. But,
No, I had full faith in Sadok in kickoff. I knew that guy was running on fucking steam when he pulled out Yoru on Ascent. I was like, okay, this guy's dope. He's out of ideas. He tried. He made it work for a couple of games. It's not working anymore.
I think
It's so frustrating because this team popularized the Ascent meta. If they just played the Ascent meta, they would have won the tournament. I'm convinced.
so. I could probably shed my own kind of like theory as to why that did not that we didn't really see a lot of standard comps from them, which I think I've discussed this with you actually, Dane, on call before while we were like I think it was like we were watch partying or something, or we were playing a game or something. But my theory behind why Loud seemed so willing to deviate from what is the most traditional comp you could have on a map that most if not all teams run and that you pioneered and then you just ditch it. I think the biggest reason as to why that has happened was because quite simply they weren't confident in QCK. They didn't know what to expect from him. They knew for a fact that this guy was not going to be Aspas, like okay, listen, we're saying that you guys are all giving me that face with the hindsight of what we know now, right? Coming into the
So you're
tournament,
saying initially? Yeah, initially. But then after they got fucking anti-shredded to hell against
EG.
why are they still playing it?
because
he's
they
good
don't
at
know
playing
what to
Jet.
do from there.
He's
like
good at playing Jet.
because they have spent a lot of
He's good at Jet.
yeah, but we didn't really. I don't think to kind of give some brevity to Loud. It's kind of hard. We say that a lot with the hindsight that we have now, because even in like kickoffs playoffs, GCK's Jet was a little bit underwhelming, especially when you have to consider the fact that the Jet, the player that they had before this and during 2022 and 2023, was arguably the best Jet we have ever seen.
Yeah.
Ever. So going from that to like a really good duelist, which GCK is a really good duelist and a really good Jet, it's almost like, in a sense, it's kind of like, or from their point of view, it's like getting like a ranked player and like comparing him to like a tier 1 player you had who was like popping off. Like it's in their eyes, it's kind of making that kind of jump, right? And so because of that, they were a lot more confident in the duelists, that he is a lot less burdened by utility or like he's a lot more familiar with like utility timing to do. And one of the things that they knew they could do was just that they knew going into like kickoff in Madrid was that not a lot of teams are going to be ready for a Phoenix in Ascent, right? And even though like now with the hindsight we have now, we know that QCK could have very easily filled Aspas's shoes in the normal Ascent comp. I think we do need to give them some benefit of the doubt when it comes to why they chose to use the comps that they had that entire time. So that is what I will say about that.
I think for me, as a viewer, I feel like Loud is in a predicament here. As a viewer, I like fell on my knees and like thanked the good Lord. It's like, oh my gosh, Ascent. We're playing with different agents on Ascent. I'm so happy. Like, yes, I don't. It's just it makes it so much more interesting. Honestly, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I'm not seeing the same 6 or 7 types of executes and defaults over and over and over like this. That as a viewer, I'm like so happy. But I understand, like, oh yeah, like EG, like that. It's like that EG game where it's like, oh yeah, there are some very obvious holes here that like are getting exploited, and I tip my hat really, like how far again, like people are ragging on Loud for oh they only got 4th, like well they suck, like boo, Sonic's wash, and we talked about like people
That conversation that's been had, and I don't think
exactly.
it'll be the last time we will have that conversation.
Correct, but I think as a viewer, I feel almost like it's my duty to like root for this like something wacky like a triple flash comp, just because it's like at least it's something new. We're not just seeing Fox fight Fox in Super Smash Bros. Melee, like
gosh, I hate
someone.
Fox Mirror, man.
Like it's like yo, like we get
Fucking
Hungry
two
Box
crack addict
shows up with
And we have Hungry Box
Jigglypuff.
Amsa. That's what
Like
we were watching.
like yeah, something like that. It's just like I feel like it's my duty as a fan to like root for someone who's like willing to like do something risky, play something that's not meta and try and figure it out, rather than like we lost it, we keep losing to this, like let's just quit. So that's kind of my take. Like I don't know if like it's done, it's figured out, GG, go next, scrap that idea, or if they can make it work. I just feel like as a fan who wants some more exciting gameplay, like I have to kind of root. Like I hope they're able to figure it out.
I think that you can kind of reinvent the comp of like. I think you can do different comps on a sense, but you don't have to sacrifice the jet. You know, like you don't have to structure it on a completely new list. I think there are other ways of handling it. So coming into it, I do hope that they have QCK play jet, but I also just like you, I'm tired of like the same like jet Silva KO Killjoy Omen setup that agent comp that we see every single game that plays on the set, right? I'm also tired of it. But even though I want QCK to start playing jet and I do want them to like kind of like be more comfortable with putting him in traditionally jet roles, I am hopeful that these guys will continue to kind of surprise us with what kind of comps they can not only cook up but also make work. And the topic of Fox in Smash Melee, I think the most accurate description I've seen of a Fox or depiction of a Fox player I've ever seen is like this fucking animator who made like Fox like super like just fucking jittery on like while he was like animating, but on top of that he added noises of him literally just mashing buttons on his fucking GameCube controller.
Who?
Yeah.
I think his name is Terminal Montage. But that guy's like has somehow just captured the essence of a Fox name
Fox
and
player,
just tossed it into his animation videos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
and I mean, last thing, so we can go to bed. Paper
Yes.
X good. These guys all good at game. They shoot
Yes.
people in the face.
Yes.
Monyet good.
People were doubting for no
They-
reason, bro. Just
they
give him
should-
time.
Monyet Heart.
Yeah,
They
just
should
keep,
be playing more meta comps, in my opinion, but that'll be a story for another day.
I think
Yes.
Paper X is the same discussion we've had with literally any other player that we've talked about before, which is that give him time. Give him time. We are doubting for no reason. So I think with that we can just kind of end off. Chris, by the way, you might not want to step towards the nope, you're getting in frame, you're in frame. Yeah, sorry. We're almost done. We're almost done.
All right. Good night.
But
guys.
yeah, I think we can end it there. So thanks again for
Okay.
watching, and then we'll